My grandfather's truth was swallowed by the sea, and by the silence of those who called him a liar. He died with a vision etched in his
July 15, 1967. Tonight the ocean glowed like liquid stars.
journal, and a glow on the horizon only he could see, until I followed his words into the deep, where light remembers what time forgets. It begins with a journal. Faded brown leather, gold embossed 1967. Resting in a pool of morning light in a study he once filled with pipe smoke and sea tales. Its pages are not just paper. They are a coastline of memory. Here, in cursive blue ink softened by decades, his defiance remains. July 15th, 1967. Tonight, the ocean glowed like liquid stars. The crew thinks I'm mad. And beside it, a coordinate, 23.5 degrees north, 58.0 degrees east. To the world, it was a navigational point. To him, it was an X on a map of the unseen. And then the photograph. A young man, my grandfather, standing on the deck of a weathered fishing boat, pointing toward a distant, shimmering horizon. A horizon that, to everyone else, was just dark water. That photograph, creased and spotted with age, became my compass, packing my gear beside his journal.
He was right. We found it.
I wasn't just preparing for a dive. I was preparing to meet his ghost in the place where his credibility was lost, and where I hoped to find it again. The journey east from Muscat is a passage through time. Rocky Omani coasts give way to small fishing villages where the rhythm of life is still dictated by the tide. At an old wooden marina, I met a fisherman whose own father had sailed with mine. He pointed a bony finger toward the eastern horizon, his Arabic phrases mingling with the cry of gulls. He spoke of it, he said, the water that shines. On a small boat at sunset, I laid his hand-drawn nautical map beside my glowing GPS. The points matched perfectly, a click of confirmation that echoed in my chest. As the sun bled into the sea, I suited up, checking each gauge, each seal. This was no longer a theory, it was a destination. And when night fell, absolute and star-clad, I stood on the edge of the boat, the black water below holding its breath. With a backward roll, I entered the silence he once broke. The descent is a slow unwinding of the world. The surface light dissolves into a deep, resonant blue. At 30 meters, the beam of my torch catches the first, fleeting spark, a microscopic organism flashing in protest. Then another, and another. His liquid stars were real. A bioluminescent plankton called dinoflagellates, painting the dark with each stroke of my fin. They grew denser, forming a shimmering path downward, a celestial road laid on a seabed of gloom. At 50 meters, my light found the ocean floor, and it was glowing. Patches of bioluminescent bacteria clung to the rocks like living moss, and among them a pattern, a circle of stones too deliberate to be random. It pointed like an arrow toward a vast limestone cliff, and in its face, a dark maw of an entrance, exhaling a faint, cool blue light. The cave. My heart hammered against my ribs. This was his cathedral. Inside, the water itself seemed to hum. My light beams, intrusive at first, revealed walls not of stone.
If you find this, you see it too. They called me mad, but this proves it's real. Document everything. Protect this place.
but of living light. Millions of organisms coated every surface. Glowing fungi, pulsing bacteria, delicate veils of bioluminescent algae. They breathed light in slow, rhythmic waves. In the cavern's center, a stalactite reached for its stalagmite twin, both sheathed in glowing crystalline structures that brightened as I neared. A silent, beautiful conversation. And there, resting peacefully on the silt, was the artifact that bridged our lives. His copper diving helmet from the 1960s,
Carefully detach the sample
webbed
with the
with
laser
slow-growing
scalpel.
life, but
Just a minimal
unmistakably
shard
his.
for analysis.
Inside its
Sample
shell,
secured.
a waterproof case held his final message, preserved in plastic. If you find this, you see it too. They called me mad, but this proves it's real. Document, protect. His signature below was a tremor across time. I placed my gloved hand beside a subtle impression on the cave wall, the echo of his own hand, placed there in wonder in 1967. In that moment, the cave seemed to feel me. The light intensified, cascading in waves from blue to green to electric violet, as if the ecosystem itself was celebrating this reunion. It was not a haunt, it was a home, and he had been its first guest. Resurfacing was like being born into a new world. On the boat deck, the samples in their containers pulsed with a soft, persistent light, tangible proof. The lab analysis was swift and staggering. Unknown species, a completely undocumented symbiotic ecosystem. His crude 1967 sketches were anatomically precise. The scientific paper that followed didn't just validate an ecosystem.
The location matches the old
it vindicated
map
a man.
perfectly.
He wasn't
At a family
exaggerating.
gathering,
I knew
I
he was
projected
telling
the
the
glowing
truth.
cave photos beside his journal entry. The silence in the room was not of doubt, but of awe and of grief released. At his seaside grave, I didn't bring flowers. I brought a framed photo of the glowing cavern and a copy of the journal article stamped, scientifically verified. The coordinates he gave the world are now a protected marine reserve. The glow on the horizon is no longer a madman's tale. It's a monument. His journal now lies open in my study, not as a relic of delusion, but as a testament to the most powerful force on earth or sea. A truth, patiently waiting in the dark for the light of a believer to finally find it.